Hey everybody, welcome back to my second part in this new series about Hawk lore, where I basically explain all of Hawk's history from 1987 to now. Uh, I don't have any other books before 1987, so that's why I decided to do that specifically time, but one day I'll get to all those beforehand books. But until now, I'm just going to do all of these little runs. Also, I'm not going to do the Immortal Hawk like I said last time, because that is a really long and very complex stories, like literally 50 issues, not including like the second stories that are really important. So instead, that's going to be its own video. But right now, I'm just going to do the mid 2010s runs. And I would call these runs the mid runs because these series are incredibly mid and really boring, especially when compared to all the other runs I talked about. But yeah, let's just get into it. After Greg Pak's run, we had this little crossover event called Fear Itself storyline. And basically, it's like a Thor storyline. I don't really know. I didn't read that one, but I do know that Hulk like became evil for a little bit because he got a giant hammer. Anyway, he's being hunted by the government again, and Hulk is just kind of getting tired of Bruce's shit. So he goes to Doctor Doom, and they split apart. Like literally, Doctor Doom physically splits up Hulk's brain and clones a new body for Bruce, and they become separate people. When Bruce finds this out, he's a bit sad, but a bit relieved, and then he goes a bit crazy. So you see, without the Hulk, he kind of gets really obsessive about it. Like, well, there's the Hulk, I need the Hulk, and he gets really crazy. And basically, he goes to an island that's really irradiated from other gamma stuff, and basically takes all the animals on all the island inhabitants and turns them into gamma irradiated monsters. So that's pretty cool. Hulk, on the other hand, is down underground with a bunch of Mediterranean people, or whatever they're called. And he gets interrupted. His piece gets interrupted by this chick named Amanda Von Doom, who like hunts down mad scientists. She's also may or may not be related to Victor Von Doom, known as Doctor Doom, but we don't really care. At least I don't care, because at the end of the day, she doesn't appear in any of the other series other than this one, so it doesn't matter. She's totally irrelevant. So yeah, she comes up, basically tells the Hawk that, hey, your other side, he's kind of going crazy, and he wants to blow up an entire island because he managed to get a gamma bomb again, and he wants to repeat the same process that turned him into the Hulk. At first, Hulk didn't want to, work with them, but then he's just like, screw it, I'll just do it anyway. And so they go to the island. Him and Hulk decide to duke it out, Bruce and Hulk, and well, it doesn't really end well with Bruce because he gets blown up again and he fucking dies. But not really, because he gets reabsorbed into the body of the Hulk, and whenever the Hulk comes down, or whenever he's tired after banging Red Hulk, he turns back into Bruce, and Bruce just decided, like, hey, I'm just going to troll a little bit. I'm just going to be a little funny, a little goofy. So he sets Hulk onto this really wild goose chase where he, like, works with the Punisher for a little bit, and then he goes down undersea and fights a bunch of sea rednecks from Atlantis. And then he goes in space and fights a crazy Russian bear lover man, and it's really insane. And yeah, so while that's happening, a bunch of Doombots who are like totally forgotten by Doctor Doom are like trying to get his approval by fighting other people and stuff. I totally forgot what's going on, if I'm going to be honest. Like, this story is really boring. But anyway, Bruce does this because he wants him and Hawk to get closer, and he creates a new serum that would help them blend together a bit more. And so that happens, and basically they end the series with Hulk fighting Doombots, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the entire series, and it's really boring, as I said. It's like the biggest 6 out of 10 I could give it. Like, the best part about this was like the little goose chase that Bruce put Hulk through, but other than that, it's not exactly a great series, especially coming off a Greg Pak's run where everything was just kind of off the walls, crazy and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, after this one, we have Mark Waid's The Indestructible Hulk, where Bruce decides to work with S.H.I.E.L.D. and, use the Hulk as a missile to aim at the bad guys, and use his smarts to create, like, new inventions to help the world and planet and stuff like that. And that's pretty boring. Like, he goes on some cool adventures, like helping Thor in the past, or like going on this giant time adventure where he tries to stop these time dudes from destroying, well, time. Overall, that's pretty boring. It gets really good near the end where he gets shot in the fucking head and he dies, sort of. They operate on him, but they don't know who did it. Spoiler alert, it was Betty. Betty shot him because the people she worked for, like, would, like, trying to find out who would be the next biggest threat, and apparently it would be Bruce Banner. So yeah, he gets shot, but he gets helped out by Iron Man, and they put some Extremis in him. Extremis is like this super weird nanotech that basically heals you up and has some really weird side effects. And we'll get to that later because Original Sin happens. And basically Original Sin is when the Watcher dies, and his eyeball basically shows everybody like memories that they've never seen before. And for Bruce, it was finding out that Tony Stark was the reason why the Hulk was created. And he, shoots himself up with even more Extremis and turns to Hulk smart and tries to kill Tony. Tony, on the other hand, figured out that he didn't really create the Hulk. What he was trying to do was help the bomb from not blowing up everybody, because Bruce, who created the bomb, made the shielding on it a bit too strong, and if it blew up, it would pretty much disintegrate the entire area. So he actually helped the bomb by not, making it explode so strongly. So Bruce figures this out, and they go their separate ways, and it's nice and it's wholesome. And then we get this whole Doc Green arc, where the new personality who's like super smart named Doc Green decides to come up and says like, you know what, these gamma radiated people, they shouldn't be around. I should be the only Hulk, with the exception of my cousin. And he basically de-Hulks everybody, his wife, his best friend, the guy who tries to kill him all the time. By that guy, I mean like Red Hulk, who was actually like, General Ross, who's Betty's dad. He also does this with the leader, but the leader found a countermeasure to it. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But during this, he creates an artificial intelligence that's supposed to help him. But apparently he gains sentience and tries to kill anybody with, gamma powers. So he tries to fight that one. Also, the artificial intelligence is named Gammon. It doesn't matter at the end of the day because this entire storyline is kind of forgotten after the Secret Wars stuff. So Gammon never returns, which is really funny. But yeah, that happened, and that was pretty boring, I would say. At least the first half. The whole Indestructible Hulk arc was totally forgettable. I would definitely give it like a 4 out of 10. The whole Doc Green stuff, though, that was actually really cool. The Omega Hulk stuff, him fighting the other Hulks, like his son Scar and A-Bomb. And yeah, I would say that was the most interesting part of this run. That and getting shot in the head. That was really funny. But yeah, nothing really of note happened after this because they totally forget the whole Gammon storyline. And, Doc Green starts to revert back to the Savage Hulk because the Extremis was kind of leaving his system. And apparently, if he kept taking the Extremis, he would turn into the Maestro, which is like an evil Hulk, so he didn't really want to do that. So yeah, then we get into Greg Pak. He returns again, and you think, oh wow, he's going to create some more fire, some better Hulk runs. Nope, this was probably the most boring Hulk run I've ever read. Probably even more boring than Mark Waid's Indestructible Hulk, because almost nothing happens. Basically, Amadeus Cho takes over as a Hulk. I didn't talk about this character before, but he was originally a Hulk character created by Greg Pak. He was like a supporting cast member. He's like the super genius kid who's like on par with all the other geniuses and stuff like that, and he helps out with the Hulk, and sometimes he helps out with Hercules. He has had his own series, but I never read that, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, he becomes the Hulk because the Hulk was about to explode from taking too much gamma radiation or something. And he becomes the Hulk, the new Hulk, and he does stuff. I can't say that stuff was particularly interesting, but he did do it. The most interesting thing that happened was Bruce fucking dying again because he got shot in the head by Hawkeye, which was a little funny, but it happened during the Civil War II arc, which was really terrible, and I don't recommend it to anybody. So yeah, other than that, like nothing really significant happens other than Bruce dying. And it's just a really, really boring series, like, genuinely. Other than Bruce dying, nothing of note really happens, and I can't say I enjoyed reading it. It's probably why it was so short, because I can't say anybody really liked this series. Yeah, other than that, like, that's the entire series. This was probably when the Hulk was kind of, like, lowering in quality, because nobody really knew what to do after the Greg Pak's run. And for good reason. Greg Pak basically turned him into a Dragon Ball Z character and kept upping the ante until people were just like, okay, where do you go next from this? Split them apart. Make him work for S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's have some new guy take over for a little bit and fucking kill off the main character. I get it, but, damn, this was a really, really rocky era in Hulk's time. This sort of 2014 up to 2018 sort of run where nobody really knew what to do with his character, especially with Bruce, because basically everything that they could do, they did. So like, what were you supposed to do after this? But don't worry, after this one, we have possibly one of the best Hulk, if not character runs of all time. And I can't wait to get into that. But because of how long it is and because I sort of ran out of room, I'm definitely going to do that one in the next video. But yeah, I can't wait for this one. And by the way, I'll probably give all these runs like 5 out of 10s. They're not really great runs, and I don't really recommend it unless you're like a really big Hulk fan. But yeah, can't wait to talk about Al Ewing run. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow for more, and I'll definitely see you next time.